2020. In 2020, when I sold 70 homes in 7 months and sold over 150 homes in 2018. So I've been out this for a minute. Now, it wasn't a natural God-given talent. So I believe every single part of real estate is teachable. Doesn't matter who you are. I'm actually an introvert. So doing these videos, and about 5 years now, I've been doing videos on Facebook and YouTube. Was never a comfortable thing to do, as I'm looking at myself, just like you when you see it, but everybody else sees you just as you are. So love it anyways, baby. So at the end of the day, what my goals and intention here are is to become the best version of myself and give that person the world, and basically become the person that I needed in my life, which was obviously when you're young, you need mentors and coaches, and typically you are where you are because of your environment. So with that being said, what we're going to talk about today is going to be how to sell over 100 homes in real estate. Now, if you're just getting started, you should still be focused on selling 100 homes. And this is why. Until you believe it, you will never achieve it. So most people get into real estate thinking, if I could just sell, 10 homes, I'd make 80, 100 grand. That'd be awesome. Well, I can tell you it's very simple to do that. There's just a few things you have to have. And one of those being a mentor. Now, YouTube, it's amazing because I didn't have this growing up when I was doing real estate. I would have just been all in it and had mentoring and coaching, and probably would have been paying for coaching a lot sooner. So I didn't start getting coaching until I had a team. And like most people out there, I was stubborn. I was told to do things that I didn't want to do. I didn't listen until there became a point where I had to, because I just grew so much. I had to have somebody do my paperwork for me. I like to do everything because I've been doing everything for so long. And then now that I've been coaching people for years now, everybody has the same issues. They're all stubborn. So the number one thing I look for when coaching somebody is their ability to want something so bad they're willing to get uncomfortable to do whatever it takes to get that. Because if you are that person, you can do anything. And most people live in their comfort zone, and that is the issue with civilization and life. Just imagine if every single person turned off the TV in the world and go and went and worked, or just did extra things to help people, just serve people. How much better the world would be, right? But I think the average TV watch is over 7 to 8 hours a day. I have family that watches like 15 hours a day. 15 hours a day. I know people on government assistance that stay home and that's all they do. YouTube, Facebook. It is bizarre. Now, here's the thing. What if you could do something that you can make money with and still enjoy it? Now, for me, it's serving people. It's freedom. So there's 4 pillars to, I was just listening to Tai Lopez talking about this with, what's his name? Andrew Tate's buddy. Oh, I love this guy too. I might be posting a link down below here. Know his name. Anyways, they were talking about, what's more important to you. And as a man or female, you should figure this out. And is it money? Is it stuff? Is it, having a big house, cars? Is it freedom? Is it love? And there was one more, I'm not gonna remember it. One more. Love. Oh, and love and status. Right? So those are your 4 things. What's more important to you? And when you figure this out, you will be able to focus your energy there and realize what's important to you. Most people don't even know this. But for me, it was freedom. Nobody telling me what to do, when to do it, freedom. I've always had an issue with rules and regulations, especially when they didn't make sense to me or for me, right? So, and I think that's where society has done a great job of controlling people, school systems with, the more you learn about psychology, they have signs on schools saying drug-free zone. Did you know that if they just didn't talk about drugs, if they talked about health, be as healthy as you could be as healthy as you could be, what would people do? They wouldn't buy soda. They wouldn't probably eat as much sugar, do drugs, all these things. So you have to learn these things so you're not you don't fall victim to what society is wanting from you. Society is wanting from you to be average because average does better and doesn't fight back. So I believe there's greatness in every single person. And I've seen it in myself. I've seen myself go from average to making over $500,000 a year. So anybody can do it. Now, what it takes is this: it takes sales skills and then marketing. Sales skills and marketing. The average real estate agent only sells 3 to 4 homes statistically from the NAR, National Association of Realtors. And the reason for that is because they're looking at every single licensed agent. Some agents don't sell any homes. Some agents have a license just to flip the houses or whatever. So at the end of the day, what I saw when I worked with over 100 agents in one office, that the average agent, their first year would, well, this was back in 2015, 18, was definitely an easier market, would probably sell 7, 8 homes their first year, and then maybe 10 to 15 their second year, and then 30. Now, this is somebody who was smart, work, discipline, nothing crazy, nothing extreme, just pretty basic and average. So in this market, I would tell you currently, you're if you're brand new and you sell 1 to 2 homes your first year, you'd be doing pretty good. Now, every agent I've worked with in the last 7 years has sold over 10 homes the first year. Actually, the first 2018, everybody sold over 20. So lately, it's been over 10 homes the first year. So things are obviously more challenging. Home sales are down by half. The prices are still going up because the inventory supply is so low. So with that being said, let me go back. The number one tip is get a coach and commit yourself. How do you commit yourself? You either do it by getting someone to hold you accountable. And how do you do that? You got to trade money for their time, because my time is more valuable than the average person's time. And the way you figure that out, and I don't say that um, egotistically at all, I say that purely statistical. Most people value their time at hourly. I say 90% of the US gets paid hourly and they value their time there. If I told you the number that I charge for my time, you wouldn't believe me, because my time is extremely valuable. Once you make enough money to where you don't have to work, it doesn't become about money anymore. It's about your energy. All money is a way to buy more energy. So when I can pay for a housekeeper or someone pick up my kids, or for my kid's mother to stay at home and get taken care of, all those things cost money. So at the end of the day, the biggest thing that'll bring you more money is developing yourself. So most of my training videos are about self-development. It may not be exciting, may not be exactly, and I can do crazy videos and I can be out there and extreme, but this video is going to be more for somebody who is ready to make a lot of money in real estate. The number one thing you have to do is be committed to your success. And in order to be committed to your success, you need to ask yourself why. Now, for me, freedom drove me. I could make money at 2 to 3 jobs, had saved a bunch of money by the time I was 19, bought my first home at 20, had 90 grand saved up, I was 24, 150 grand a year, no degree. So I am a very highly driven person when I'm focused on something. So with that being said, I've been practicing more of a balanced lifestyle lately. But for most of the people out there watching this video, you're not committed enough. You're not focused enough. Turn off the TV, stop eating the shitty food, cut the people you're hanging around, because you'll never outgrow the people you're hanging around 100%. Now, it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing right now. If you're watching this video, subscribe, hit the like button, and comment on what your struggle is today. I would love to do the next video on that. Now, with this being said, most of the agents that I'm working with right now that are getting their license, some of them already signed up and never did it. They just didn't follow through because they have a habit of not completing things. This is most people. This isn't harping on anybody. Now, when you have somebody that tells you they're going to hold you accountable and do it with you, you're more apt to not give up, because we'd rather not displease other people than ourselves. And that's part of the issue with lack of self-love. So once you love yourself, you will feel like you should be deserved everything. Everything is, well, actually, okay, let me say that. Most people are entitled, thinking they need everything and it shouldn't cost them anything. Now, if you're that person, you need to focus on doing more work. Now, if you're so driven and you've become successful by working hard and being committed, A lot of those people don't have enough self love, so they've been looking for it in other things. So that is why most of I do believe that's a muscle. I do believe that's a muscle you build up over time. It's called recently discovered AMCC, part of your brain. And this is a muscle in your brain that gets larger when you do hard things like taking cold showers, doing things that make you uncomfortable, asking a beautiful girl out, um, raising money, losing everything, and having everything go to shit. And instead of backing out and quitting, you figure something out, find a way when there's no way. These are all things that are possible if you don't give up. So you need to have a commitment. All right. So I've helped hundreds of agents already. I've taught this since 2015. Here's the thing, I was trained by a new home builder. So I sold new homes for 9 years, two different companies, and resell the rest of it. And if you look up on Zillow, you'll see my review, over 850 homes sold. It used to be 950. I don't know what happened. There's some people claiming my sales because anyway, it's another story. But I have over with new homes and resell over 2,000 homes sold. Now averaging 50 plus home sales and new home sales for 9 years plus the 850 you'll see on Zillow, which is actually more like 900. Now, including, and there's even other homes. I've sold homes where I got them off the fence. Like even one of my best friends, I got him off the fence. He was working with his other best friend and ended up not buying. I talked to him and went and bought with him the next week. So how many homes I've sold, don't even know. But personally, I know I've sold over 2,000, but I've sold even more than that when it comes from people that you teach and get off the fence and then they go work with their friend or family, which happens all the time because they feel more comfortable with someone they know. That person wouldn't have gotten them off the fence. Fortunately, it's not fair and it's okay. You just got to keep getting better and improving, learning how to market yourself and building up the AMCC muscle. All right. So there you have it. Now I could tell you do open houses, make phone calls, delegate all of your paperwork out from day one. Do not do any of it. Get a transaction coordinator. And this right here, my friends, is valuable information. You could be paying tens of thousands of dollars for what I'm going to tell you right now. Get a transactions coordinator. Your only job is to meet people and sell homes. That is it. Everything else you want to do is in your comfort zone, whether it's paperwork, whether it's um, doing YouTube, whether it's Facebook, whether all that other stuff. If it's not providing leads, you're just doing it because it feels good. Now, you need to get in front of new people every day. So if you're a new real estate agent, you should be sitting at a coffee shop, at a library. You should not be in your home or in an office. You should be meeting people and building up your CRM, which is a contact relation management system. Your only job is to educate people on how and why they need to buy a home. Now, I was very passionate about it because it was something that none of my family has ever done when I was young. I lived in rentals and apartments growing up. So I thought buying a home meant you're rich. So if I could just figure that out and help people do it, I could sell the Fresno Beat. Like when I sell homes, I was a little naive, and which is great because anything is possible if you can believe you can do it and you put in the work and the action. So that's all you got to do. So I'll tell you right now, the secret is having a why, committing to yourself. Figure out what your why is. Mine was I came from a broken home. I was poor, family financial poor. So at a young age of about 8 to 9, I figured if I made money would solve all my problems. I'd get a girl and family, and then I'd be happy. Now, it definitely did all that. Now the journey was more important than the destination. But so embrace the journey. Now, that was my why: freedom, family, and that's what got me through everything I needed to do. Now, once all that was taken away for about 8 months of my life, I had a new battle. And throughout that, in the last 4 years of my life, I've been educating myself and building a business and thinking about the bigger picture and developing myself even more than I ever have in the past. And with that comes teaching, um, raising capital and selling, because everything that I love to do is getting people to that next level and showing them there's more to themselves than they're giving themselves credit for, so they can achieve more than they can even imagine. And with that being said, I'm about to lose my earpiece battery right here. So here's the thing, and I will finish with this. Learn how to sell, build rapport, follow up. If you make 1 to 2 hours of phone calls every day, you'll make over $200,000 in real estate. That's a statistic the NAR had out quite a few years ago. So following up is key. Becoming great at selling and being committed. If you're committed, now, if you don't own a home yet and you're 25 or 30, your number one thing should be selling real estate so you can buy a home. And then once you buy a home, teach other people to do that. There's a lot of gurus out there saying don't buy a house and all this stuff. Guys, most people can't go buy 100 doors like these gurus tell you until you buy one. Most, I'm not saying not everybody. Now, if you're a CEO of a company, you never bought a home, but you're making great money, yeah, go buy 50 or 100 doors, 100%. But for the average person making 50 to 200K and with a family and they haven't bought a home yet, your first obstacle is buying a house. If you haven't bought a home, I believe everybody should buy a home. I believe everybody should buy a home and get their real estate license. Now, I know that is not going to happen, but everybody should. And the reason is real estate, working for yourself, being an entrepreneur and selling something is going to make you develop yourself or fail. I've never failed at anything in my life. Anything that I've committed myself to, let's just say that. I don't stop until it gets done. So now that I've been raising money, my new mission is to be $1 billion in debt and teach as many people to get financially free as possible using real estate as my tool. So with that being said, your first step, finding your why, getting a license, and having a mentor. If you do those three things, now your mentor is going to end up becoming who you are. So you need to be very cautious and careful on who you pick to sell homes. Most people go with who they're comfortable with, just like people buying homes. They pick an agent that they know that is an average agent because that's who they know, circle of influence. Now, in this market, it is the most important time to have an agent that is a specialist and an expert in real estate. Now, if you're not that person, if you're new, you need to partner up with somebody so they can use their resume and your time and put that together. And the one thing you're going to have to be is coachable. That's it. Got to be coachable. So, how do you sell homes? You get passionate, you find your why, commit to something, and you follow through and you do whatever it takes and you burn your boats. If you got money in the bank, quit your job, go get your real estate license. If you really want to succeed in real estate, or if you want to become an investor, whatever it is, the hardest path. If you have a problem, I'm going to tell you this lesson I learned from one of my mentors, Dan Pena. If you have a problem in life, problem with anything, think of 3 solutions, and whichever is the hardest solution that you have out of those 3, pick that one and do it. Till next video, till next week, I will see you on the next one.